And welcome to Blockbuster Bums. Kick back your recliner, crack open a beer, and let's talk movies. And today is the wrap up for James Bond. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm pretty excited about this. Um, we're just gonna wrap up our James Bond series. Obviously, we've watched all 26 movies. We've done, I don't even know at this point, 17, 18, 19 B-sides.
Yeah.
Um, and we've been engrossed in the Bond universe for quite some time now. And now it's time to wrap it up and move on to Rocky, like we've mentioned in the last couple episodes. But before we do, we thought we'd get some last thoughts out for everybody. And so let's get started. Tom, what are your thoughts on watching the Bond movies from start to finish, from 1962 to 2021? And the totality of watching them so close together.
I really enjoyed the whole ride, to be honest. Like, from start to finish, from the nostalgia to seeing how Bond himself as the character developed over time and had different adaptations with the different people taking on the role, to even, like, different M's that we've seen, and even, like, the development of the side characters like Moneypenny and Felix along the way as well. So, like, being able to see that all in one big stretch of time, that was really cool. Especially to see, like I said, how it was broken up into, like, Connery, Dalton, Moore, Craig, Lazenby. Like, everybody had their own little twist and take, but certain things stayed the same baseline that I enjoyed. So I think it was cool to see that. Interesting to see different takes and different, like, even cinematic, like, development over time between, like, camera shots and just, like, the way props and CGI or even, like, frame rate was used. So there was a lot to, like you said, just between the span of time that it actually occupied to the present, even, and still going, to where, like, it's only gonna, like, make that bigger too, and I think that's cool.
Awesome. Thank you. Barry, what did you think of watching the totality?
Yeah, a lot of what Tom said, first of all. I didn't have a big knowledge of what James Bond was, beyond some minimal, Brosnan era movie watching with GoldenEye, and maybe I had seen Tomorrow Never Dies. I don't recall necessarily. That was my main awareness of James Bond. That and what I thought James Bond was based on Austin Powers movies. So in many ways, I expected not to like James Bond movies. I thought it would be a chore, to be honest with you. I thought particularly it would be a chore to watch 70s era Bond movies. That's just what I had in my mind,
Mm-hmm.
based on thinking it was all going to be, just corny garbage, not worth viewing. And happily, I was wrong on that. I enjoyed all of these movies in some way. There's not one of them that I hated. There's stuff that I thought was, an odd choice or just plain stupid. But all in all, I think they all offered, good entertainment. And it's nice to see, kind of the same beats hit again and again over the course of, 6 decades, and to be able to, derive some enjoyment from it each time, regardless of how many there have been. So I enjoyed them a lot.
Awesome. Thanks, Barry. Ray, thoughts?
It's kind of like life, roller coaster ride, some highs, some lows,
Stromberg.
a lot of shit, couple shits,
Fish fucking.
yeah, fish fucking, but overall, it was very enjoyable. Everything, at least all the movies at least got some kind of merit that I enjoyed at some point. I do hit a lot of them pretty hard, but I mean, I wouldn't say I wouldn't ever watch some of those movies again. But I mean, overall, I had a great time rewatching them. I got to rewatch some of my favorites again, which is cool. But yeah, overall, good time. Yeah, for real.
Awesome. Well, for me, I do agree with a lot of the things you guys said. It was a rewatch for me, so I did really enjoy. I don't think I've well, I don't. It's not that I don't think. I know for a fact I've never sat down and watched Bond movie after Bond movie after Bond movie until I finished the whole series. So this was the first time doing that, which was interesting. Like Tom said, seeing different characters and different actors and different things come in and out, but still seeing the constants that make Bond James Bond, at least for the most part, and which was wonderful. But one thing I will say that has been fun for me is watching Barry. Barry talking about how he didn't really have a lot of James Bond knowledge to all this, so it was like watching somebody. It was watching somebody watch these movies for the first time and seeing their reactions fresh, unlike me or Tom or Ray, who were just like, "Oh yeah, I remember that," and like it almost made me think of like my childhood watching a lot of these movies for the first time, like with my grandpa. He was a big Sean Connery and Roger Moore fan, so like we watched those movies over and over again when I was a kid, and like it was almost like it almost took me there because I was watching Barry, like I watched this movie for the first time and these were my thoughts, and I was like, that's just really cool. So I really enjoyed that part of it as well. So I guess thanks, Barry.
Thanks, I enjoyed it. Thank you. Because I really didn't want to watch them. At first, I was like, no, I don't. No, but thank you. I'm glad I did.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad you decided to do it. I'm glad you trusted me, Barry. That's the thing. I have not steered you wrong yet. I don't believe.
Not yet.
I have been steering Barry down the cinema universe for a few years now. So anyway, now we'll move on to. We decided that we wanted to talk about individually. So for each individual person here, because Barry doesn't like our list, we wanted to talk about our 3 favorite Bond movies and our 3 least favorite Bond movies, just for us individually, not as a group. So Tom, what are your 3 favorite Bond movies?
All right. So for this, what I did is I first narrowed it down to like which Bonds I wanted to actually critique for that first. And out of it, like, I picked the Sean Connery Bond, like, I picked the Roger Moore Bond, and then I actually picked the Daniel Craig Bond. I didn't go Lazenby, Dalton, or Brosnan, mainly because obviously I liked Connery the best. Moore, I think, has a really nice take on what I think the Bond character should kind of be in a weird way. And then the Craig one,
Tom.
well, yeah, I know. But the Craig one, it was unique in how it is almost like its own little box set in the Bond arc when we're talking about the totality of it. And because of that, I felt like I had to rank that Bond as well because it is the newest, and we're coming off of that Bond.
It is the box set. You're right.
It is. It's the box set out of it and everything because even the way the story's told.
Yes.
So, but with that being said, for my Sean Connery one, I picked Dr. No as my favorite. For my Roger Moore one, I picked Live and Let Die. And for my Daniel Craig one, I picked Casino Royale.
Okay.
And those are my favorite. Mainly because I feel like in those, even though his character may not be fully developed and fleshed out, I think that how each actor portrays Bond in those, to me, really shows and exemplifies the Bond character. Like, even in Casino Royale, like, how he would just throw himself into the dangerous situations, just kind of walk right into it and all, even just like in all the other actors did as well and all that, just bumbling right into danger and all that, and still playing the role and all that. He did good in that one. I liked it. I liked the portrayal for those.
Well, I will say I'm a little surprised, but solid 3.
Yeah, I like him. I won't argue with him.
All right. So Barry, what movies did you pick as your 3?
All right. So I chose mine based upon basically the notion of kind of like a Rolling Stone song or a David Bowie song. Which ones do I want to hear right now? That doesn't say that these other ones won't be my favorite down the line, maybe. But right now, if I was told, hey, you got to watch 3 James Bond movies today, what are you going to pick? Here's what I'd pick. I would watch, probably even in this order. I'd watch GoldenEye. Kind of my introduction to James Bond, knowledge of Pierce Brosnan in that role in that movie. And I still think it's a great movie. Also, I'm gonna stick with this man. Tomorrow Never Dies. I find endlessly entertaining. It's not probably as beloved as GoldenEye by most, but I think it's just as entertaining. And I can watch that movie once every 8 months the rest of my life and probably be okay with it. And the last one, because I had to get him in, A View to a Kill. And I think a lot of people really dislike that movie. Moore's definitely on in years, but I think his charm in it, and a lot of just his banter and back and forth with the other characters is excellent. And I love the villains. So, A View to a Kill, GoldenEye, and Tomorrow Never Dies.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised because I feel like throughout our entire ranking system, you were so dead set on Dr. No and how you thought it should be number one. So I'm surprised it didn't make your list.
I considered Dr. No, but again, I went back to asked to watch 3 James Bond movies throughout the course of the day. Those are the 3 I'd pick. So I just thought that was fair. But yeah, Dr. No, awesome movie.
It's your list. I'm not discrediting it. I was just interested.
No,
'Cause I was like, if you told me you have to bet your life that which one of these movies is going to be on Barry's list, I would have said Dr. No.
Well, see,
Yeah.
my big question was going to be which Roger Moore were you going to pick? Because that's where I was going to be like, all right, which character development of it and everything are you going to pick? And all that was going to be my like, which one's Barry going with?
I would have thought before this started, I would have said Barry's going to have Dr. No and 2 Roger Moores. That's what I thought. That's what I would have thought. So I would have been completely
you know what,
wrong.
though? 6 months from now, probably so. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, Ray. Who are your 3? What are your 3 favorites?
So I guess I don't have a big analytical aspect like Tom did with his list. These are just my favorite ones, the ones I enjoyed the most. No particular order, I guess. GoldenEye, big one. That was probably the start of my watching career with that one.
Especially with us, like it's by the time when N64 came out,
Yeah.
it really played to like our generation of like Bond viewers and all that.
Oh yeah.
Where like I said, the majority of the introduction was like Grandpa and everybody introduced us the older ones. So
Oh, yeah.
I can totally see that.
So yeah.
Called him Grandpa.
Just like, oh, look
And
at that, like-
and like the action wasn't real over the top. It was like espionage. You didn't know really kind of what was going to happen, but you knew there was a nice plot going on, and then had a nice ending at the end. Casino Royale, good beginning of the character. I thought started the evolution of what could have peaked at 3, and then downfall, and then it just downfalled at 5. But that's always one I go back to and watch is Casino Royale. And then my boy, Timothy Dalton, License to Kill.
I knew it was going to be all. Again, like I said with Barry, if I was going to say you have to get one movie right on Barry's list or you die, I'd have been like, it's License to Kill.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that one. I mean, close fourth was The Living Daylights. But License to Kill, action packed, strong evolution of the character. The villain was great. The henchman was fucking awesome. And Wayne fucking Newton is a crazy fucking priest, dude. I mean, you can't discredit that guy. I mean, it was
movie
fucking
had a
great.
lot of good stuff in it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
A little bit of everything for everybody. And it's fun, and it's always fun to watch, you know.
fair enough. Well, my 3 are pretty straightforward. I'm going to have a comment afterwards because y'all are messing with me. I'm not how sure I feel about it. But my 3, in order. Number 1, I've been very clear about this since the very beginning. Thunderball is my all-time favorite Bond movie. So that's where it's at, number 1. Number 2, Goldfinger. And number 3, Casino Royale. But Casino Royale I have a problem with because y'all like bagged on me hard about how much I love Casino Royale and tried to convince me how much better of a movie Skyfall was than Casino Royale, and now 2 of you have this motherfucking movie on your list.
Well, I mean,
Was I amongst these?
Skyfall could be the better movie. I do probably remember saying that, but I mean,
I do probably.
Casino Royale was really probably the more fun one to watch. I think you got to see the beginning of the character, and you got to see him progress, and it wasn't like over crazy the top or anything. No side fucking shit with them or whatever. It was just a good starting movie. I think Skyfall. I think is a great film altogether.
Yes, it is.
I like Skyfall. I wasn't bashing
that-
Skyfall.
Right.
Because I was one of the people that I'm pretty sure bashed it.
Yeah.
But here's what I'll say: I'm a sucker for a good poker movie.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know that between like the movie Rounders and all that kind of like, you can show me any poker movie, anything like that, and if you throw like bitches, booze, and guns on top of it, like, because that's the thing, like, just speed me up to when he's in the casino, and I can watch Casino Royale from there and love it.
Oh, I
Like,
love
that,
the movie
yeah,
for sure.
that's the thing. It's like, but like I said, I'm with Ray where I think Skyfall's the better movie as a whole. But if you just got me from like, you will have my undivided attention once we're in that casino.
Yeah.
Like, and that's I love that. Just
Yeah,
I
'cause
love
you're on
everything about it.
You're on the edge of your seat. You're like, oh man,
Well,
what's the flop gonna be? Like, is he
I'm
what's he
a-
pulling there?
I'm a sucker
going
for
all
like
in or what's going
subtlety and
on?
unspoken communication. So it's like the whole time just trying to read people, seeing the ticks that they had and everything. Like, I love that. Less is more with me. Like, the less a character says. If it was a silent fucking film, I would have loved it. Like,
It's just a spy learning how attention to detail works.
and that's all it is like, you're just on your job, just reading a human being just to try to off them later.
Yeah.
Like, love it.
Fair enough, gentlemen.
Slow burn.
All right, let's move to the opposite end of the spectrum here, gentlemen. What 3 movies are your least favorite Bond movies? Tom?
Again, had the same criteria, same bonds, and with it,
I would have been interested if you'd have gone with the other 3. Like if you'd have gone with
Well,
Lazenby,
and
Dalton,
I
and
thought about-
Brunson.
I
Bronson.
thought about that, but I thought it would be unfair because of how I did the first part of the ranking. So I thought it would be only fair that I also said which Connery one I didn't like the most, because he's my guy, and like I said, I talked Roger up, and then I gave Craig it. So I feel like it's fair that I say what I don't like about them as well.
Yeah, that's fair.
So with Connery, it's Never Say Never Again, and it's basically because of age. Like, you could just, it was past it. You should have stopped at Diamonds. Like, because let's be honest, like, with the plot holes in it, even in that, nobody knows where the diamonds were. Like, this, like, I mean, and just other little things to where it just, you could tell he was at the tail end, and I didn't want that from his Bond. It was
Even with Felix?
even with Felix.
All right.
Like, even with Felix. Like, it's not worth the sacrifice. Obviously, if we're going Roger Moore, Moonraker. Like, yeah. Like, that's there. I think the rest of the Bond community is with me on this one. Like, so I don't have to
I think
defend.
that's pretty consistent.
Yeah, but staying with that, No Time to Die is right there in that same wheelhouse. So that's the Craig one that I don't like, and mainly I'll go with that too because I still don't see that movie as a Bond movie. That movie is about her, and Bond is just there to keep her alive. She's basically Sarah Connor in Terminator, and he's Reese. That's all it is. Like, that's this movie. You can think of the Terminator's the nanobots. There's your plot. Like,
Okay.
and that's what I got.
All right. Thanks, Tom. Barry, what do you got?
Well, much like my others, this is, these are all subject to change. But right now, much like Tom, No Time to Die. Obviously, not a fan favorite for various reasons. Also, on Her Majesty's Secret Service, just never really did it for me. So there's some good stuff there.
There is.
But I thought it was something of a slog to get through. And this may be bothersome to Alex, but much in the same way of it being a slog at times. But, it's fine, but it's not something I'd look forward to right now. Thunderball can be a bit much.
I thought you were going to say From Russia. I really did.
Oh, no. Thunderball, seemed to move quite slowly at times. Not a bad movie, but if I was asked to watch Thunderball right now, I may groan a little and require several beverages.
Ray?
All right. I guess my big explanation is the most forgettable. Moonraker. Die Another Day. And The World Is Not Enough. Those are the three that if I turn it on, I'm like, what the fuck am I watching?
What's funny is the world is not enough is memorable to me now only because we learn in the Connery one that's his family motto.
Well, yeah.
Like that's the only, that's the only reason that like that movie really sticks out in my mind is because before we did this whole thing, I didn't catch that.
I find that movie utterly memorable. I don't think it's great, but I find it utterly memorable.
Like from the ice cavern to whatever the fuck else. I'm like,
Just
no. Just throw it in the trash.
All right. Well, my three are pretty standard for the most part, I'd say. Moonraker. Her Majesties. Can't disagree with you on that, Barry. I still think, though, if you'd have put some of these other actors in that role, I think that movie might have popped.
Yeah, you're right.
But, yeah, Her Majesty's on the list for me.
If you're dubbing your James Bond, then you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're 100% right.
Apparently, that was a popular thing in Hollywood because like a lot of the women's lines are dubbed throughout the whole thing. Like
Dubbing side characters and dubbing the main character, though, I feel like are different.
Yeah.
oh yeah, but like I don't know, like yeah, it just I don't know. I feel weird about. I don't like it, believe me, and all that. But yeah, there is something that's just weird about the whole thing in general.
Yes.
And my last one is Octopussy.
That almost made my top 3.
I was wondering, yeah, I was gonna say that was one to where like I was because the whole cartooniness of it, and it almost made my list.
Yeah.
Like
Bottom 3?
yeah, like it was one to where like like that's rough, like, but no, Moonraker just screwed the pooch too much.
Yeah.
So, I think that'll wrap up our tops and bottoms of Bond movies there. I think I said that awkwardly, but whatever. And just for final wrap up on this, I think if you've been listening to us, you know already, but just so everybody is aware, we want to go around the room and say who your Bond is. Who is your Bond? Tom?
Lazenby.
I knew it. I knew it.
Clearly, like no, it's definitely Sean Connery, start to finish. Like they started off with him, he carried that classic style from like the 60s, 70s, and like how he like portrayed himself like as like a gentleman but an agent and all, and like and he set the mold for it that everybody else tried to emulate. So it'll always be Connery in my mind. Everyone else is just an echo or carbon copy.
Fair enough. Barry?
I'm a Roger Moore guy. I
Surprise.
expected to dislike Roger Moore's movies, and I expected to get nothing from Roger Moore. But the most charming of the Bonds, in my opinion, and obviously he does enough physically and can be, uncompromising, smart enough, tough enough when he needs to be. But Roger Moore, mostly for his charm.
Mm-hmm. Ray?
Mine is Timothy Dalton.
Yes.
And the reason I say that is because I feel that the two movies that he made, he pulled off more of a Bond that some people did in 7 movies or 5. The evolution of the spy within 2 movies was a dramatic change, and he pulled off both styles of Bond. From The Living Daylights, where he was more espionage, stay-at-home spy, to where he went to License to Kill, where he was vigilante and loyal to the friend, and trying to do what he thought was right, but it was probably in the wrong way. But you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'll say I would have liked to have seen at least 5 movies out of Dalton.
yeah,
Because I would like to have seen if the whole Bond curse would have like happened to him, to where like would you feel that way then if like there was a third one that really peaked and the other 2 looked trash by comparison, and then there was a downward slope like in all the others, kind of like,
yeah,
because like I said, the fact that he, like you said, in your mind he hit it in a one shot with each film and all that, and never got that slope and all that, it was like a good in and out.
right. Yeah.
We talked about it during one of the Dalton episodes where they had written a 3rd movie for Dalton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then something happened with the company, and the company couldn't make the movie for a while, and then his contract ran out.
Yeah, something crazy.
But I can't remember which movie it was that they wrote for him, because it wasn't the next movie they made. It wasn't Goldeneye.
I don't know. Have people put it in the comments.
Yeah.
It's like-
Anyway. But anyway, yeah. And for me, it's Sean Connery. I've been pretty steadfast about that since the beginning. Nothing changed my mind during this rewatch. Connery is my Bond, and I think he always will be.
I don't know. I think the Tarzan yell almost had you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
You can,
Swinging
you can
right into your
rewatch
heart.
it.
yeah.
You can rewatch it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we've really appreciated you listeners coming and enjoying these Bond movies with us and along for the ride with us. And as we close this Bond chapter, by the way, just so everybody knows, if they come out with some more Bond movies, which it looks like they will, we will do episodes include those Bond movies in this podcast or
Yeah,
Rankings.
It's a living metric. Like,
yes, it is indeed.
So when 2031 rolls around, folks, there'll probably be a new one.
we're
Yeah.
still counting bodies. Like,
Still counting bodies. And we also hope you continue to listen and tune in for Rocky. Should be don't tune in for that. But tune in for Rocky next week.
Haterade.
And thanks for listening to Blockbuster Bums.